A storybook on World War II. At the end of World War I, on November 11, 1918, the countries involved in the war gathered at Versailles to decide who to punish and how to prevent future wars. Germany was forced to pay reparations, while their military was also weakened. This was the time in which the world was under the massive depression. Germany's economy plummeted due to their insufficient funds. This created tension between Germany and other countries. After the treaty was signed, the U.S. decided to become isolated and not favor any sides in future altercations. Adolf Hitler created the Nazi Party when becoming Chancellor of Germany. He unified the German-speaking people into an individual, perfect race. General Francisco Franco was the dictator of Spain at the time. He supported the Axis powers with material items. Stalin was the leader of the Soviet Union, and Mussolini dictated Italy. He also established the Fascist Party, which the Fascist Party places state powers over those of the people. And finally, Hideki Tojo was the military leader of Japan. The Axis powers consisted of Germany, Japan, and Italy. Worldwide events like the Great Depression sparked favor towards the war because the economy would benefit from it. On September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland, which started the Second World War. Germany used blitzkrieg methods or radical movements when invading the following countries. During the Battle of Britain, German planes continuously bombed the United Kingdom. Operation Torch was the name given to the British-American invasion of French North Africa. This was the Americans' first direct impact to the Axis powers. It resulted in an Allied victory. Operation Barbarossa broke the Non-Aggression Act, which was signed between Germany and the USSR. Germany attempted to stretch into the Soviet Union. Instead, the Soviet Union pushed Germans out. This was a major turning point for the Allied powers. One in particular was the Battle of Stalingrad, which I will get to later. Numerous neutrality acts changed the grounds on which America would contribute to the war. Under these, we created a cash-and-carry basis. The Kellogg-Brand Pact outlawed war. FDR instituted the Lend-Lease program, which allowed countries to borrow goods or buy now and pay later. America became involved after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. Japanese control moved into the South Pacific island nations like the Philippines. Japan began to expand. Hideki Tojo led the military. At Pearl Harbor, Japanese ships, submarines, and planes attacked numerous American ships and aircraft. Under Admiral Chester Nimitz and General Douglas MacArthur, the use of island hopping began. Starting with the Battle of Midway in 1942, the battles of Okinawa and Iwo Jima in 1945, all of which were American victories. Stalingrad was one of the bloodiest battles in World War II. It occurred during Operation Barbarossa, and the Battle of the Midway Islands gained the U.S. and Allies Pacific power. These were two major turning points in World War II. Life on the home front was difficult. Everyone did their part in rationing and participated in scrap drives, which recycled anything that could be made into war materials. The need for workers grew, so women stepped in. Companies like Coca-Cola converted to making bombs as a part of the war effort. The Japanese Americans were subjected to discrimination and were forcefully sent to internment camps where they worked under harsh conditions. In Korematsu versus the United States, Congress ruled that in a time of war, civil rights may be limited in order to protect the country. Operation Overlord was the code name for the invasion of Normandy. After this came D-Day and the Battle of the Bulge, both Allied victories. D-Day was the first successful amphibious invasion. At the Battle of the Bulge, we gained control of territory like Luxembourg and Belgium. Kamikazes were suicidal Japanese planes. And in the Manhattan Project, we developed the atomic bomb, which we use on the Japanese cities Nagasaki and Hiroshima. On September 2nd, 1945, Japan surrendered. The costs of war. Millions of lives were lost over the course of World War II. It cost the United States around $2.88 billion, and 418,500 Americans died during World War II. After the war, Allied powers held German war criminals accountable for their actions at Nuremberg. Some were executed and imprisoned and put to death. And with that, World War II came to a close. The end.